I'm your host, Pastor T from New Beginnings Ministries. Christian Networking Entrepreneurs is a outreach of New Beginning Ministries. And in this outreach, we talk to small business owners, emerging entrepreneurs, and community leaders. And today, my guest is having technical difficulties, so she's not on yet, but we're going to give her some time to see if she can figure that out. So, again, we here at Christian Networking Entrepreneurs, we love to talk about business and networking and things of that nature. So today, until my guest comes, I'm just going to talk about some of the things that we had planned to talk about today. So you can tell a phone, tell a friend, tell them that Christian Networking Entrepreneurs is live and in person. So we know that we are in a pandemic right now, and it's difficult for us to network. It's difficult for us to get out and be hands-on with people. But my guest for today, she just texted me and said she thinks she's working it out. She is a global networker. So she networks not just in her local community or in her local city or in her local state. She networks globally. And she networks with women from all around the world. And while she's networking with women from all around the world, you get to meet people from all around the world. You get to learn different cultures and things of that nature. So it's always important to network. And she's going to give us some tips about how to not just network locally, but network in a global setting. Welcome to the show, Dr. Lenora Peterson. You're on mute. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is our guest for today. I told them that you were having a little technical difficulty, so you've made it. Welcome, welcome. How's the weather down there in Georgia?
It's a little cool. You know, I guess it's cold up north, but we don't have the snow. Okay. That's the most important thing. We don't have the snow, but I think it's probably in the 40s. So for us,
that would be
cold.
That's good for us. That ain't cold at all. But yeah, we gonna say, yeah, we up here and almost knocking on below zeros though, and y'all in the 40s. Yes, yes, yes.
And you know I don't miss it. I miss family, but I don't miss that weather.
My husband and I will be going south soon. We are moving
to Florida.
That
someone say send a little bird out. I wasn't for sure. I didn't ask until I did.
So we don't know when yet, whenever God releases us, but we said we are definitely going to be relocating to Florida. He's full-time in the ministry, and he hit that big 6-0. So that's what was a goal that he always talked about.
Tell him I said, oh, wow. Wait till
He's still a baby, huh? He's still a baby. Yeah. So the way the show works is we're going to introduce our guest, Pastor Lenora Peterson. The first 15 minutes, she's going to talk about herself, her journey, being an entrepreneur, being in ministry, doing all the things that she does and wearing all the many hats that she wears. After that, we're going to give you some international tips for networking. And then in the end, we're going to close out with a call to action. So Dr. Lenora, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, let me just, like I said, I'm going to just bring up something that I wanted to, 1 second, since I'm trying, and I apologize, of course, I want to just get to the Lodi page so I can tell others about Lodi first of all. Okay, first of all, as you know, my name is Dr. Lenora Peterson. I am the global ambassador for International Global Alliance School. We now just branched a new school as well for individuals that's trying to be more of a missionary chaplain overseas, which you guys have had that experience to travel overseas. And we're teaching them how to connect with individuals in more of that's out in the world of, well, how can I say it? I want to say it, tip of my tongue, that's not doing well. Okay, I put it like this: people that's living in poverty.
Okay.
So we are different camps, different organizations that's less fortunate, and we're trying to teach and train them on how to be prepared to learn the laws of humanitarianism, of what to
Okay.
expect when they go over there, how to behave towards the peoples, how to embrace their cultures. So that's the new program that we're starting. I
Okay.
just completed a course from Harvard University online and I did well. So that's the reason why we decided to do that, because we find a lot of ministers wants to become more international now. They want to explore their past, their life, or just know more about what God has envisioned in them. So that's what that program is about. And also, I'm the former ambassador for President Barack Obama Lifetime Achievement Award program when he was in office, which you guys know of that as well. That I gave out over, I'm gonna say over maybe 800 different lifetime awards to individuals around the country as well outside of the country. And this is how this baby really got birthed.
Okay.
Uh, I am also an advocate for National Community Service, which is connected with a lot of advocate programs like NAB, the NAACP. I'm also one of the chairpersons for Lodi for United States. I am also a chairperson for the UN Embassy, but for the women's organizations only. And now that we have a new uh, Madam President, which I'm wearing her shirt today with my pearls.
Madam Vice President.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Vice President Harris, I'm going to be a big part of the Black Caucus out of Washington, D.C. now, to help us to help women's that's trying to be a part of small businesses, organizations, which they have something that's out now, which everybody's into now, the PPP, which is trying to get people's funding. So we're working on that program now as well. Myself, which I can say, and you know, like I said, Dr. McCurry, of knowing my life steps, that this has been endured in me for years. And we have all in our walk have went through so much to get where we are. So being from Ohio and Cleveland, and knowing that I worked up under people's like Stephanie Tubbs, organization volunteering, and go all the way back to a Virgil Brown. So that's a going way back. I did an article on that. What was my first volunteer job? And he was running for councilman back in the early 70s. Yeah, the early 70s, I believe. And I used to fold letters, envelopes to get them prepared to take and put in people's mailbox.
Wow.
So you never know what God can install in you and where it's going to lead you in life. And I learned that about myself. I do have 2 PhD, one from Rice University, which is here in Atlanta, Lutheran Rice University. Also, I have one from a school called Shore, and that's out of Florida. And so that's another one that I received, but that's in my humanitarianism, a government.
Okay.
Um, I'm, and then we have, like I said, the Global International Program, which is for individuals that's an advocate for community service, that serves within the community, serves within the school, serve just helping individuals. That's a
Uh-huh.
certificate program. We have the ambassadorship program where individuals are trying to just expand and stand for a cause and and greet others to come and be a part of their organization. And so we have an ambassadorship to develop around that to help them to make that happen with other organizations as well as themselves. And the honorary doctorate, which you received as gotten your doctorate degree in honorarium from a global international, that program is individuals that have served for many years and have walked the path and have made the mission for many others. And like I said, I know this is a show about me, but see, I know your walk is very long. So
Yes,
God has given
it's
me that vision.
ironic that you would bring that up because I was talking to somebody about that, and I didn't even realize that it had been 20 years. She was like, Teresa, you've been serving the sickle cell community for 20 years, and I'm like, wow. And
Yeah.
God has opened up miraculous doors for the MCS Fund, the Misha Chanel Saxon Fund, and it was an honor to receive the honor of getting a doctorate in humanitarianism for your work that you was just doing just because you was doing it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you
So
have to want to be a server. And like I said, growing up the way we were, and then yourself being a part of my bloodline, uh, I know we were taught to do that. We knew how to give and not to take. And you
right.
were a true giver. I used to remember the days when you would have your beauty shop lined up with all of us getting our hair done. We didn't have no money, but you always gave to us, our kids, and then you tried to feed everybody. You took care of more families in the family. So
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about. So, and this is what helps you to develop your custom of what your cause is. So that's the reason why the program was born, because a lot of people don't have time to go back to school, but you have life experience. Your life experience is what make you get where you are today. And we reach out to individuals like that through this program, and it helps them to elevate and to collaborate in new areas of their lives, and it's working. I mean, we
Yeah.
got new book writers, so now we have expanded around the world.
Amen.
And it took them 2 years. I had the young lady, matter of fact, Dr. Makaka. She's
Uh-huh.
she's the president of the school, and
Okay.
she's in London, and she had been following me for 2 years. So you never know who's watching you.
That's true.
You never know who's watching you. And they had embraced me and asked me, Dr. Peterson, we would like to offer you a position to represent United States of America. I was so outdone. So that's when Lodi was born in United States.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Before we get into the international networking tips, I want to still talk about you a little bit, and let's talk about your book.
Okay, let's see, do I have it here? Yeah, here it is. My book is called, which is The Lady, the Level, and the Loyalties. And just like I just spoke briefly, the lady part we must always have, through good or bad, to represent your character.
Uh-huh.
And the levels is what you go through your strives and family and hardship and relationships. That's where the levels step in. And the loyalties is what's happening now. The rewards, the honors, being honored. I was one particular person which I was so thankful to be honored by, was the president at that time, with the lifetime myself in the beginning for gun violence. And the second one that touched my heart was when I was endorsed and honored by the passing of Mr. John Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And that took my heart,
Yeah.
because these are peoples that look at what you're doing. They know we are the future, because once I'm gone, the mantle will be passed on to someone else.
Yes.
So that's how that got developed. And also I have received from New York councils. I received from them special recognitions from about 7 different districts. Also, Chicago honored
Yes.
me with
Right.
proclamations. So, I mean, I can go on and on and on. I have so many awards. I don't, it's like I said, you just can definitely just check it out by going to my website, which is a GIA University Advocate. I'm sorry, GIA Advocate University.com. .com. That's what it is.
Okay. Awesome.
So we can give
Awesome.
that out later, but and it'll tell more about it. And I'm a mother of 3. So that oldest one, she will be 49 next month, which it's hard to believe, but she's still my baby though. And then also we have Wenda, which is Michelle. She's what, 40? I kind of forget,
I mean, too, I
47.
forget my age. I'm like, how, am I 52? Am I 53? How old am
I
I?
know. And then also Miss Alexis, the school teacher, the woman of all, wear many hats like her mother. She's what, 37.
Okay.
Excellent mom with her children. She's a diehard when it comes to school kids. So I'm blessed because basically I was practically a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
going through relationship hardship, whatever. But I always took time out for my children. We was always taught to be that way with our loved ones. In between working at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation back in the days for 27 years.
Wow.
uh, and in nursing and billing and you name it, I did it. So all of that's a factor into my life. So even if you don't have a mission at this point in your life, this it still can grow.
Of
Be-
course.
because back in 2013, I suffered with massive brain tumors. And I had to have surgery and I had to learn how to start all over it again. And
Mm-hmm.
then at my age, look what God have done for me.
Look at God.
At 64, look what he have done. You can do so much and you don't have to stop. I think about Cecily Tyson. She was
Mm-hmm.
still growing to the day she died.
Yes.
She had still had a goal. Also, the young lady from the Supremes. So we don't we if we give up on life or give up on our mission of goals, that's our fault. You know, and we cannot live by social media. We cannot live by public news. We have to live by what God leads us to do, because if we take in ease of what's happening around us, it will depress us.
That is so true. I very seldomly watch the news in the midst of this pandemic. I try to watch the news at least once a week. That's all it takes to be updated and just keep myself productive. I don't even like the word busy, right? I don't want to be busy.
Yeah,
I want to be productive because I want to see some fruits from my labor, from the
exactly.
things
The fruit of your spirit.
that
Exactly.
fruit of the labor of the things that I'm doing. So yeah, awesome. So we know a little bit about you, Dr. Peterson. Now let's go into our topic for today. So our topic for today is international networking tips. And we know that you are the representative of the United States of America for Ladies of All Nations International. And Ladies of All Nations International is pretty much just that, a global networking group for ladies. Give us a little bit more about the Lonnie, LOANI, Ladies of All Nations International.
Okay, it's an international associate group which has been originally developed out of London, England. Like I said, Dr. Caroline McCurry. She is the sole proprietor of this organization. She started it years ago because she also is African herself. And when you think about all the things that happened over in South Africa, and they ran a lot of their peoples out of the country, and a lot of them are living in London now. And she decided to start a group with women's to honor them in the same scenario what we're doing here in the United States. But in her situation, they deals with a lot of hardship. We have meetings uh, here in the United States once every 60 days, but they have it usually, I think, every month. You get a chance to meet women from all around the world as a member.
Okay.
So if you decide to become a member and decide to visit that particular country or collaborate with that particular country, you have a person to represent for you. Uh, we have heard stories from women's where they've been so abused. We go on speaking when we in a meeting, we may talk about our health problem. We done had cancer, or we done had this, we done had that, but we have not really been through in life what they have been through when they may have been used like dogs. I mean, one story, a lady told me her husband raped her I think three, she had three children by her husband. Then turn around, sorry, her father, then turn around, he wanted to try to kill her. And it was a thing that she had nowhere to look to go, because they don't have the political connection in that country like we have here. When you call the police, they come, da da da. It's like that. You do what you are told to do by some, like your master, because he's the man. One lady husband tried to kill her, and he ended up killing himself, and he tried to kill her and her children. And she ended up going to prison. But the what got me about some of these stories, one of them told me when her husband was died, his head, one of them head was amputated off, and the loyalty to prove that you had nothing to do with it, she had to sleep with the corpse. I mean, I hear stories like that just turns my stomach. I'm like, what is going on? So these women have lost their self-esteem. They may have been beaten. I mean, just like you figure back in the slavery days. And this is just in one particular part of the country. India has the same problem.
Oh, yeah.
Japan. So we're finding women and we're teaching them how to stand for women's rights. Yeah. And we're showing them through the American way that your voice can be heard. We give them strength. We talk to them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have you to come on to one of the, as a guest speaker as well, to just give some words of encouragement and talk about yourself. They love it. They need it. We feed them that message of believe, have hope. Now, there are others that believe in different denomination. They are different religion. So we don't get into all of that, but we do let them know on our perspective that God is love.
Amen.
Whether they're Muslims, whether they're, whatever their cause are, we let them know it's still all love. We are all can bleed. We all can hurt. And you are somebody, like they always stated. So this is basically what we do in this group. We help them to get educated. We have a lot of ones that we connected with that have started orphanage. That's why I was trying to think of the word orphanage or earlier. That have taken in people's that if you're born handicapped, that means you're like a curse.
Oh, yeah.
So they kick them to the curb and they live homelessly. So some of them have opened up orphanages to take care of children that no one else wants. Her name is, she will be getting honored with the honorary doctorate if we get to go in September. Her name is her name will be Dr. Her first name is Ima Bay. And I love her. She's a woman with class, but she's truly a diehard to the peoples over there she's in, I think I don't know if she's in Kenya. No, I think she's in, Porter? Porter de Paix, but she's over there.
Yeah, we visited there when we went there. So when you said that, it's like for people that have not traveled internationally, it's a rude awakening because when you travel internationally, they look at us as those spoiled Americans.
Yes.
And as you get to traveling internationally, we are exactly that. We are those spoiled Americans. When my husband and I went to China, it was a weather storm and there was a storm and some people had already gotten on the plane and they let them people sit out there on that plane for 3 hours with no heat, with no air. And it was nothing that they can do or nothing that they could say because that's a communist country. So we as Americans, we can't fathom going through the trials and the tribulations and all the things that they go through. When we went to China, when we went to South Africa, now some parts of South Africa is very well developed. Some parts are very rural, right? So when you're doing that missions work, you always have to get briefed on what the customs of the culture is because you can't go to those places thinking like a quote unquote spoiled American.
That's what the new school is all about. This is what the new chaplain school is all about because we want them to understand different parts. There's armies, there's gangs, you have to be prepared and always be prepared to not to go to a regular bathroom. There's things. And then if you have something that they may want that you have, especially out in those areas. But like you said, not in Johannesburg, that's more of a city and certain places like that. But be prepared to just give it in your
Yeah, I
own
mean, it's
way.
just certain things you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in some of those third world countries, you don't wear your diamond earrings. You don't wear your diamond rings. You put all of that kind of stuff up because it's just not the market for that. But that's good because if you desire to be a global networker, if you desire to be a global business person, you have to do your due diligence, do your homework, and find out what does that really look like. So
Exactly.
let's go into our 6 points for today. So the
Okay.
6 points that we agreed that we were going to talk about was networking is an essential part of business and it allows you to grow your business. And now with everybody coming in online, it just really made the world even that much smaller, right?
Yes.
So with that being said, the first point that we want to talk about is find a cheaper way to communicate. So what are some of the ways that you find that the ladies of all nations communicate that's a cheaper way to communicate?
Well, definitely what we're doing now through Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they do Messenger. Because I just got off a call earlier with London through my Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got the WhatsApp. That's another way to talk. This is a way where you just have the service and you don't have to worry about paying those fees.
Mm-hmm. So that's important because if you're going to be doing business globally, it's simple as an email. An email doesn't cost you
Yeah,
anything.
email as well.
I mailed something to Jamaica and it was a small box. It cost me $55 and she didn't get it till a month and a half later.
Right. Well, I'm blessed to have a young lady that originally used to work for Delta, and she has the courtesy of being, she's been there, like she was there for about 40 years. So we're able to send our awards and all products through FedEx. But like you said, the first time we sent a box over through FedEx, I think it would have cost us like, I think about $700. And then that wasn't even, and then they will not give you the insurance on it for what the value is. So being that she's able to do it for us, we got it done for like a little or nothing. I was like, oh, see, that wasn't nothing but God. So
And
we were
then
able to ship.
that's awesome. And that's another part of networking, right? So when you're networking, sometimes you don't know all the nuances of the nets, but when you're networking, somebody has this piece and somebody has that piece. So when we bring all these pieces together, we have this awesome network and we can get a lot of things done.
That's right.
It's important to find the most cost effective. I said maybe cheapest is not the best word to use, but the most cost effective way to communicate with people globally. The next one was about be smart about translation. So we kind of touched bases on that a little bit about how certain customs and certain cultures doesn't make sense to us, but to them is how they roll.
Yeah, because we had to even revise our diplomas for them because of certain wording that was set, even though it's accredited here in the United States, we had to write to the board and have it changed because they didn't allow, like, give you an example, diplomacy. They wouldn't allow that. We had to change it to presentation. You've been presented. And I mean, I went through a big war about things with them, being that I'm, the executive for it. And we finally got it done. So theirs are designed totally different than what the ones are designed here in the United States.
Yeah, because when you go in different countries, different things are differently. I remember going to China and we ordered some food. So it was like maybe 5 or 6 of us at the table. Everybody just said, okay, give me this, give me that. And I said, yeah, give me this seafood pizza, but without the squid on it. I never got that pizza. So what I learned is in China, it's not like Burger King. You get what they bring you. You don't get to pick it. So, but see, that goes back to us spoiled Americans, right? So
Oh yes. Oh
this the
yes.
way we make that pizza. So you don't say, but I didn't know that, but I learned that very quickly. So when you're in different countries, different things flow differently. So
Yeah.
whatever's on the menu, it is what it is. You don't say low salt, this, that. So they
Yeah.
ain't Burger King. You're not going to have it your way. So
That's
in
right.
that being said, certain words mean certain things, because a lot
Yes.
of things, like being in China, being a communist country, when we were there, we were on a missions trip, and being on that missions trip, we had to get approved by the government
That's
for
right.
the certain churches that we were
That's
able
right.
to go to
That's right.
minister. So you couldn't minister anywhere because they were underground churches, right? And then people were watching us everywhere we were going. And then a few ladies that were on the trip made friends with some people in China. And then when they talk to them, they have different code words that doesn't mean something else. So it's real. So being
That's right.
smart about your translation is very real.
That's right. Like I said, those were some of the questions that was in my class that we discussed at Harvard, because that is so true because of how they are about, especially religion. Religion is a big ordeal because they scared that you're trying to come and make a change to their past ancestors, which is not that. We're trying to divine love. So you have to make sure and be very, very, very careful of what you're doing. Like you say, do your homework first before you go over there thinking that you're going, because honestly, you can get in trouble, or
You
either
can.
you may become missing.
Or in jail or something. Remember, I don't know if you remember this years ago, maybe not too many years ago, maybe 10. It was this young kid that was over in Singapore. And either he wrote something on the wall or he did something, and they were going to cane him. So cane means whooping him and the United States tried to intervene and tried not to get this young boy caned. And they wind up caning him because he wrote on the wall, and they call that defacing their property. Where here, they just going to erase the graffiti off the wall and keep it moving. But in Singapore, that was a federal crime, and it required 30 lashes of caning.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
can
another
we
thing.
can
Yes.
fathom that, right?
Yes.
We can fathom that.
Yes, that's another thing. One of the ladies' testimony that was in prison before she got released, she had to be whooped. I think she said so many times a month before she was ever even released, even though she didn't kill her husband. That was one of the things that they chose to sentence her to. And I was like, I'm telling you, the stories that we hear, it made a lot of my Lodi women's here in the United States, that you can see their mouth dropping on the call, because we're like, well, I'll be. And like I said, they really believe, and they, because you think about it, they really believe in a lot of Buddhism, Black, it's real to them, and
Yeah.
so certain families don't connect with other families. So,
Mm-mm.
and it's the same thing, even in Europe. Now we are now connected with Dubai. We haven't got a chance to go there yet,
To
but
Dubai.
yeah, we're looking
Okay.
forward to it. But that's more of a tourist thing now. It's more
Yeah.
just money,
Dubai is
money, money.
beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So we have sisters in this group there also now, and so they're teaching us a lot to what to watch out for, what not to do, because you're coming there, because like you said, they're looking for you to spin, and um, but mainly the ones that really want to learn more about missionary, I will hope they reach out to you and contact us, because we really want them to learn the right way of how to go about the missionary tourism, or the missionary ministry, because there are a
Mhm.
lot of, I have young ladies now that's about to go. I don't know if she's going to Nigeria, I believe it's Kenya. And she talked about, she's been over there 6, 7 times. She's American. And she talked about the caves where you walk in, you can still smell the death uh, of where the people died, and how they put them in these different caves to prepare them to bring them across the water in the boats to for slaves. So this is like a slave area. And then when they died, I say, well, we said, well, what did they do? They threw them in the lake, in the ocean to feed to the fish, and just it's just so much you need to know that this is real. And we
It's
want people
real.
to learn that. We want
It's
them to
real.
learn that. It gives you a different perspective. When you
Totally.
come back home to United States, you'll have a different perspective of how appreciated you are to live as
In the
American.
United States. That's I know I do. I mean, with all the traveling, like you said, even going to Mexico, to see the
Yeah.
armed guards in front of the resort. So you go to this resort, you have a whole different life, and you come outside the resort and you see a sheet over a tree, understanding that's somebody's house. Okay. And the sheet that's over the tree is by the river because if they don't catch no food, no fish, they don't eat that day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's real. It's totally real. And so now let's talk about targeting the best organizations as it relates to international networking.
Well, of course, I'm going to speak of Lodi. Lodi is the best in my eyes, but we also have individuals that connected like myself with the UN embassy. So there's also listing up under the UN uh, out of New York that they can find out more information on that can branch them off to the right source of a more international one that's connected to that country and have more power. So that's one of the things. But we ourselves have connected and branched with a lot of those particular organizations and foundations ourselves, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
We're still growing. We're still growing because that's her job. That's
Right.
her job. And so we're putting together. We have Lodi. Lodi now has a magazine that comes out. I was blessed to be on the front cover. And we're now here in the United States about to develop, which I think the first one would be uh, launched next month, called Humanitarianism, which is a magazine up under our organization. And we will be picking stories here for individuals. So beware if I come and knock on your door
Yeah.
about individuals and stories and insights to educate our people more on international organizations. So at this point right now, like I said, she's covering they're covering over 100 different countries, which whoever thought we would even think of 100 different countries, but they are there. And so she has the connection and the resource to get us connected to whatever question, whatever area they're looking for, and whatever whatever their purpose is that they need. So that's what I can speak on that particular part.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So next we have join an online business community. So one of the keys for international networking is joining an online business community. And like you said, is it called Lodi or Lani?
Well, we call it Lodi. I
Lodi.
call it Lodi.
Okay.
Lodi. Everybody have, like you said, everybody have their own way of pronouncing
Tomato,
it.
tomato, what have
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So it's important to join online business communities. And I always tell people, like, when you're in business, in ministry, in politics, whatever genre or whatever lane you find yourself in, it's so important to network with others in that genre. One, because
Yeah.
there's a certain language that you speak. So there's a business language that you speak, there's a ministry language that you speak, and there's a political language that you speak. So if you're not in the know of those languages or the way that things go, then you will be lost. So let's talk about the importance of joining online business community.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we have attorneys, we have doctors all around the world. We have individuals that running their own businesses. And we have connected with them to learn different things about them. We have writers, we have individuals that maybe develop business plans, commercialness. So there are women of all walks of life. We have, traveling companies. We have it all in this particular group because these are women that have a standard, but like I said, there are some that's been through a lot in life, but they educate them as well. So all we're trying to do is just learn a little more about them in their country as well as they learning about us, so we can respectfully help educate them as they educate us. It's about, like you said, like I said, it's about collaboration and just building that new bridge. I always tell everyone in the group, don't worry about being on Oprah. Oprah will come to you. As we grow, she's going to end up, because we've been connecting with individuals that's connected with Tyler Perry, because this is Georgia's a national known state.
Right.
So, and I'm connected with so many politicians here in Georgia, senators and mayors and so forth in different counties. They do counties here, but we have a few that's part of Lodi.
Right.
So we're trying to get individuals to be more characteristic of themselves and help them to build their brand, help them to learn how to build, from education teachers to, like you stated, some might be artists.
Right.
Some could be singers, you name it, just all walks of life. And Lodi do have an organization for men's as well. I just have not branched over to that circle yet, but they do exist because we have honor many men's in the organization for honorees doctrine. But I just have been so busy with the women's side of it. But if there is any men's that want to learn and want to come aboard, we don't discriminate now. But we try to, but just that we have more women, just like in the churches, you have more women, they're more of the congregation. So it's a lot with the women's, the children, and so forth for me to take on. But they do exist, and like I said, I can just connect them with the right resource if someone do want to find out more about it. But yeah, we have all walks of life, people's in their careers. I mean, it's just so many to name, broadcasts. We have some that have their own television shows.
Yes.
Overseas, and
right.
So there's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's good. And then the next point is the importance of social media as a platform to be able to network globally. The importance of social media as a platform.
That is a real good one, because I had to contact a gentleman today in California for something he was doing wrong, to pitch out like he was global and he wants to be honored through our school. Well, he's been nominated, but he have not received. So we watch you. People watch you.
Okay.
So I had to tell him today, you cannot do what you're doing. You're jumping from one basket to another basket. Stick to your brand and serve in your brand. Because if we see you trying to just be more of a copycatter, which I hate copycatters, because they're copying, but they're not serving. They're not doing the work. So I have to, my job, and I was on the phone with London as well today. She said, I'm so glad, Ambassador, you brought that to the manager. I said, that's my job, to let you know when you're wrong. I know for being to a person, when they're wrong, they're wrong. That always been my DNA. But he got it. He respected. I said, because you could be sued. You can be, you're clashing in the government sector now. You're making up stuff that's not real. So that's the thing. Always know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and if it's permitted in the social media world, because they will take it and run with it, and they will make you look. And you see it even in the world of people's, that's the celebrities. They love to take this one little part. I've been watching them a little bit about, I'll give it to you, a little example. Steve Harvey, stepdaughter, and the gentleman that's the actor. Now, she's nobody, she's just a young lady. But I heard on, like I said, I was listening to this guy speak who all she dated. All the way from Whoopi, not Whoopi, from Puffy to this, to that, to that. And they're taking her and they're making a mockery of this young lady's name now, because that's what they will do. So we have to watch ourselves. Regardless of who she dated, they say she dated Puffy, she dated his son, she dated this rapper, and it's like they just taking her and making a mockery. And I said to myself, oh my God, I hope that she can understand. she's about to go down that road. But you got to be prepared if you're going to walk that walk.
That's true. So if you're gonna put yourself out there, especially in business, so going back to what you said earlier, the whole copycat, and then I call it the imposter syndrome, right? So some people have the imposter syndrome. You say something, it sounds good. Ooh, let me try this on for size and see how that feels. In the business world, I call that somebody that's chasing a dollar. So when you're chasing a dollar, oh, I'm mowing lawns right now. Okay, I met you at a networking event. You're mowing lawns. Then I call you, hey, I want to get my lawn mowed. Oh, no, I mow lawns now. Now I sell insurance. Oh, you sell insurance now? Okay. So then 2 months later, I need some insurance. I call you, can you get some insurance? Oh, no, I don't do insurance no more. I got this product. I'm selling this product now. So that's somebody that's chasing a dollar. And to me, when you're chasing a dollar, it takes so much energy to chase a dollar. But if you're doing something that you're passionate about, something that's your innate ability that's really on the inside of you, that will come naturally.
Exactly.
So whatever it is you decide, like me right now, I'm pivoting because of the COVID and everything that happened in the beauty industry. Girl, I was going for my license, and then I was reading something that said, if you've been licensed for over 30 years, you don't have to take your CEU hours no more. I had to do the math. I said, I've been licensed for 35 years.
And that's beautiful. But like you said, it's nothing wrong with bringing in some new, but always keep what you normally do in the spotlight. Don't, because you can add on anything, but like you said, it's the way they do it. They don't even give it time to just develop. It's like you said, you plant a seed for some tomatoes to grow over here. You ain't never watered it. And then you go over here and try to grow something else. Well, what happened with the tomatoes to grow? They're not growing, so you have to work and nourish what your purpose is. What is your purpose?
What are you passionate about? So with that being said, it's like I was a beauty entrepreneur coach for over 10 years.
And I can vouch for that.
Right.
I can vouch for it. And see, that's what I said. You got reference. See, that's to make a big difference. Oh yeah. I remember you have reference, not just with me, but with many, many, many. That's what you're known for. And there's no lie, it's proof from I looked at your first book the other day, the one when you got the little picture of the thinking, whatever you call it. That's what I'm saying. So I can vouch for it.
Yeah. So in that, it's okay to pivot sometimes, because like I said, right now I'm pivoting. So I'm in the process of rebranding. I've been a pastor for the last 11 years, and we've done a lot of training. So I feel like the Spirit of the Lord is telling me to take those same training principles that we do at New Beginnings Ministry and offer them to others. So just I've been working on this for a whole year, and I still ain't launched. Okay. So I actually wrote a book about it. And then so God gave me a strategic plan on how to do it. So I said all of that to say that when you do pivot, you can't just drop this and I'm starting this tomorrow, because like you said, there's no track record. There's no rhyme or reason to how did you get to this. I seen my sister selling some eyelashes and she seemed like she making some money. I'm gonna sell some eyelashes now.
That's the same way they doing with that jewelry now. What is it called? I don't know the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. Pop, and that's fine. That's fine. That's like a little side thing. But some of them try to make a career out of it. And like I said, if you choose to do that, like your mom was the best Avon selling person in the world. She worked it for years.
She did. We had Avon everything in our house, and my mama made a living, not a side hustle. And she made a living off
that
of
was
Avon.
her living.
Everybody named mama had a book.
Yep. And she did it regular. She would come. I had to be to work at 11 o'clock at night. She would meet me at maybe 10:35, delivering my stuff. So this is the thing we're saying. You're known for. She was brand for. Gertrude was brand for the jury. And that's okay to grab other new ideas, but you're still known for your whatever your main goals and your topic. And that's what it's all about. Unless you're going to be a person behind the scene and just be the person that market. But if you're trying to market what you're doing, then be, like I said, keep it within a
Be
guideline,
consistent. Be consistent.
yeah.
Like they say, practice make perfect. That's
Yeah,
not true.
yeah. Because you
Perfect
can't
practice.
confuse people, and
Yeah,
they don't have no faith within you. They be like,
yeah.
oh, there she go again. There he go again.
What they doing now? What's new on their horizon? Dr. Peterson, thank you so much. We got like 10 more minutes before we close, and I want to give you the last 10 minutes to give out your contact information to let
Sure.
people know how to contact you for the 3 different platforms that we talked about today. If somebody wants to contact you in reference to the Global Alliance School to recommend somebody to get a doctorate, if somebody wants to contact you in reference to the Humanitarian School and the Missionary School, and lastly, if somebody wants to contact you in reference to the Ladies of All Nations International, any closing remarks, any call to actions, the last 10 minutes is yours.
Okay. Well, first of all, like I said, in which God could need to smack my hand, because you and I are always supposed to give honor to God before we even speak.
Always.
And I do forgive. This was excitement for me today. Like you said, we've been confined so long, and I was getting ready for this, getting off calls and everything. But I do acknowledge someone is on the line. I guess his name is Larry James. I would like for him to just say hello, because he has been on there listening, and I like to just give him a little, because I don't believe in not recognizing others that's not that's always being a part of something. So I would like to just say hello to you and see who you are first.
Well, you weren't on early when you was having the technical difficulties. Larry James is the producer of the show. So he produces the whole KAZ radio television network. So we're streaming through his platform.
All right.
So Apostle James, if you are there, if you want to say hi, feel free. But she didn't know that because she was logging in later on today. Yeah, so he just produces the show.
Okay, well, I guess he must have stepped away. Okay, well, first, for the Lady, the Level, and the Loyalist book, you can go to my page for this type in drlenorapeterson.com. Again, drlenorapeterson.com, and you will find all the information about this book and how to order it. And there's also, it's like a like page to give you a little introduction of some of the topics on it. For the website, you can go to www.giaadvocateuniversity.com, or you can find me on Facebook, and I'm listed up under Lenora Wimberly, which is my maiden name, Wimberly Peterson, and you can just go to my page, and you also can link into the Facebook, to the website. Also, I think on Instagram, I think I am Ambassador Peterson or Ambassador Lenora Peterson. I believe that's it. You have so many links, and I apologize, but if you just put in the name Dr. Lenora Peterson in Google, I'm going to come up like crazy. Also, for the Global Internet, if you are interested in finding out more about the program, please, if you submit in an application, you go to the top and you click on application, submit one in. Please put in Dr. Teresa McCurry name, because we do not take anyone if you have not been referred, and then we will ask you to submit in your bio, and we will follow up with you that way. So you have to have a reference in order to apply for the Global International Award Program. And I also wanted to give recognition today, Teresa, which is kind of a sad thing to say. This is the day that today would have been my grandson Michael 27th birthday. So, like I said, I pray that all the ones out there, I don't know what your goal and your passion is, but I do believe in putting the guns down. That's another big organization that we're connected with, because gun violence is really a situation where we just need to stop killing each other. So, and he's now, gone due to that violent, and many others out there can say they know someone or have had someone, because our purpose is to help our community grow and develop back to what it can be. My husband and I always say, going back to the basics, like living off the fat of the land, when they grew potatoes and corn and so forth, and it can be done. This COVID really was a wake up for all of us. God put us all back into storefront churches. Nobody is in the pulpit or making megas. Now you can see what's going on, who's real and who's not. But I like to just also thank you and your organization for having me on today. This was truly an honor. I like to send also a beautiful shout out to your dear husband, Apostle, for his just being that encouragement. At times he do reach out to me. I also listen to him, and his spiritual dad, I believe that's who he is to him when they are riding in the car. So I like to send a shout out to them. Yes. And I just want to thank, I just give God the glory, our Father, Jesus, I thank him for just being a server. I thank him for acknowledging me in life through all the things that I went through, all the strides. I'm still standing. I'm still here. Yeah. I give him glory each and every day. I give him glory for our family. I give him glory for my mom. I give him glory for all my family, cousins, and all the ones that just need. And I pray for the ones that don't know the Lord to get to know him, because every day it's a blessing. Yeah. Every day it's a blessing. So I just wish that others will just acknowledge that. But again, as far as Lodi, you can go to the website. Lodi's also on GIA Advocate University. You can click on that, submit an application in, and we'll take it from there. So that's basically it. And then the number you can call is 404-585-4062. 404-585-4062. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Peterson. We enjoyed our time together and all the wonderful information that you shared with us about global and international networking and your amazing organization that you're a part of, all of them. But our focus today was Ladies of All Nations International. So if you want to contact Dr. Peterson, like she said, you can Google her name, all kind of stuff will come up. She has a Facebook page. She has an Instagram page. She has a YouTube page that you can follow as well. You can give her a call directly at 404-585-4062, and she'll be more than happy to solicit your calls. So thank you again for being our guest on Christian Networking Entrepreneurs.
You know what? Let me make sure I gave you the right numbers when I just said that, because I just thought about it. I think I didn't mix it. I think it's 404-585-0984. I apologize. 404-585-0984.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now we got that number together. So thanks for tuning in to the viewing audience out there. Thanks for tuning in to Christian Networking Entrepreneurs. If you're interested in being a guest, please contact me at info@mynewbeginnings.org. Remember, if you don't network, you don't work. Have a great day. Bye-bye.